You scroll for 1 more minute, then 5 more. Then you look up and an hour is gone and you don't remember deciding to stay. You didn't choose that. Something older than you did. You call it a habit. You call it a distraction. But the real answer is far stranger. Somewhere behind your eyes, a hunter is still working. It never retired. It never got the memo that the hunt ended 10,000 years ago. It is still scanning, still searching, still rewarding you for finding something, anything, that might once have meant survival. Your brain was built for a world that no longer exists, and nobody told it to stop. For roughly 2.5 million years, the human brain evolved inside a single, relentless job description. Find food. Avoid being food. That job never changed, generation after generation, while everything else about human life slowly shifted around it. Tools changed. Climates changed. Languages were born and died. But the underlying machinery, the reward system wired into your skull, stayed almost exactly the same. Psychologist Daniel Barrage at the University of Michigan spent decades studying what actually drives this machinery. He found something surprising. The brain doesn't release its pleasure chemical, dopamine, when you get a reward. It releases dopamine when you anticipate one. The chase matters more than the catch. Think about that for a second. The seeking itself is the reward. This is why a hunter could walk for 6 hours through dry grass with empty hands and not fall into despair. The walking itself was firing the same circuit that today fires when you pull a phone out of your pocket for no reason at all. You are not weak for doing that. You are running ancient software on unfamiliar hardware. Here is where it gets strange. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups, like the Hadza of Tanzania, found that successful hunts are actually rare. Most hunting trips return with nothing. A skilled hunter might fail 7 times out of 10, and yet they keep going out. Why would evolution build a brain that tolerates so much failure? Because the brain isn't actually tracking success. It's tracking possibility. Every patch of grass might hide something. Every rustle might be prey. Every direction might be the one that pays off. The ancestral brain learned to treat uncertainty itself as exciting, because uncertainty was the entire texture of survival. A world with guaranteed outcomes was a world that didn't need a forager. So your brain evolved to crave the unknown outcome more than the known one. Does that sound familiar? It should, because the device in your pocket runs on exactly this principle. Every notification is a rustle in the grass. Every refresh of a feed is a new patch of unexplored territory. You don't know what you'll find when you pull down to refresh. That not knowing is the entire mechanism. Researchers studying behavioral design, including work associated with B.J. Fogg at Stanford's Behavior Design Lab, have shown that unpredictable rewards create stronger compulsive engagement than predictable ones. Slot machines exploit this. So does almost every app on your phone. You are not addicted to your phone. You are addicted to the hunt your phone simulates. But the hunting brain wasn't only built to seek. It was also built to notice threat instantly, before conscious thought could even catch up. This is the second half of the same ancient machine. Picture a forager walking through tall grass. A shape moves at the edge of vision. There is no time to think it through logically. The body reacts first. Heart rate spikes. Muscles tense. Only afterward does the conscious mind catch up and realize it was only wind. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux mapped this pathway directly to a small almond-shaped structure deep in the brain called the amygdala. It processes potential danger faster than the thinking parts of your brain even receive the information. This wasn't a flaw. It was the entire point. A forager who waited to consciously analyze every rustle before reacting did not survive long enough to pass on that careful, deliberate brain. So your brain inherited a hair-trigger alarm system from every ancestor who survived by reacting first and thinking second. Now look at what your daily life actually is. A notification buzzes. Before you've consciously decided anything, your hand is already moving toward the phone. A headline uses the word breaking, or warning, or shocking, and your pulse picks up before you've read a single full sentence. None of this is an accident of modern design. It is ancient alarm circuitry, repurposed by anyone clever enough to learn how to trigger it. This is the modern mirror nobody wants to look into. The same brain that once scanned grasslands for predators now scans headlines for threats that mostly never touch your actual life. The same circuit that once made hunting feel meaningful now makes refreshing a feed feel urgent, even when there is nothing waiting there but more grass. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. None of this requires you to be unusually weak-willed or lazy or undisciplined. Anthropologist Sarah Hrdy, who has spent her career studying the deep evolutionary roots of human behavior, has argued that many of the traits modern people criticize in themselves are simply ancestral strategies operating in the wrong environment. You are not broken. You are mismatched. The forager who scanned constantly for opportunity and threat was the forager who survived to have children. That trait got passed down, generation after generation, completely unaware that one day it would be inherited by someone sitting in a chair, holding a small glowing rectangle with no grass, no predators, and no real hunt anywhere in sight. So what do you do with a hunting brain that has no more hunts? You can't switch it off. It is wired in too deep, built over too many millennia to simply opt out of by force of will. But understanding it changes something. When you feel that pull to check, to scroll, to refresh, to chase the next small spark of uncertainty, you can recognize the shape of what is actually happening. That isn't laziness. That's 2.5 million years of survival pressure. Still running, still loyal to a job that technically ended a long time ago. Some researchers studying attention and evolutionary mismatch suggest the most effective response isn't fighting the hunting brain, but redirecting it. Give it a real hunt, a puzzle to solve, a skill to chase, a goal with genuine uncertainty built into it. The ancient circuitry doesn't care whether the prey is an antelope or a difficult problem. It only cares that the chase feels real. Tonight, when you feel your hand drift towards your phone for no particular reason, pause for just a second. That isn't a notification pulling you in. That's a hunter, still inside you, still scanning the grass, still waiting for something worth chasing. You never noticed it before. Now you have. And the strangest part of all is that it was never really chasing your phone. It was chasing the only thing it has ever wanted. Something worth the search.